Just a couple of things before we get started. If you have a cell phone, would you please put that on silent? Secondly, there will be a reception for Alex in Fellowship Hall immediately after our Court of Honor. You are all invited to attend that. Scouts, Scouters, and Friends of Scouting, I would like to welcome you to this Eagle Court of Honor. It is an occasion for pride and joy, as well as a time for serious reflection. The Eagle is the highest recognition that Scouting offers to Scouts. It is earned through the advancement program. Only a very small percentage of the boys who begin Scouting earn the rank of Eagle. The wearer of the Eagle Award is the epitome of Scouting's best effort and beliefs. Tonight, we have the pleasure of seeing Alex Mitchell climax his Scouting efforts when he joins the company of Eagle Scouts. Before we begin, Reverend Lynn Eberhardt, pastor of the Grinnell United Methodist Church, will deliver the invocation.
Will you pray with me? Oh, great God, we thank you for the gift of today, for the gift of new life. And today we thank you particularly for the gift of Alex, whom we honor on this special occasion. We're grateful for organizations such as Scouting that help to shape and to mold lives, that create sound and faithful citizenry, and help us to live life to the fullest in the way that you intend. So may your blessing be upon us as we share in these high moments, that we might always remember you are the one who granted us life and the ability to live it to its fullest. It is in the name of the one who created us beloved that we offer this prayer. Amen.
Good evening. First off, Alex, thank you for the honor of being here and participating in your Eagle Scout ceremony. I very much appreciate it. Thank you again. So it's a time of joy tonight, isn't it? It certainly is. Alex, we're all wishing you well. The presentation of the Eagle Scout Award is an important and serious matter. For the Eagle candidate, this is the climax of his scouting careers. The attainment of this award is made possible through the assistance of those with the candidate tonight: his scoutmasters, troop leaders, fellow scouts, parents, family, friends, and members of the community. This is an occasion for pride and joy, as well as a time for serious reflection. The Eagle is the highest recognition offered in Scouting. An Eagle Scout will last with you forever. We have a saying in Scouting that once an Eagle, always an Eagle. It is earned through the advancement program. The wearer of the Eagle Award is the embodiment of Scouting's best efforts and beliefs. Alex has distinguished himself through his continued performance of active service in Scouting. He is trained and practiced in leadership abilities. And he is marked by the character gained through an understanding of his citizenship and religious beliefs. It is important that each of us understand the meaning of the Eagle Badge. I will now call upon Rich Murphy.
Good evening. The appeal of the majestic eagle has been felt by every great people from prehistoric times to the present day. To the Egyptians, the eagle was a messenger of the gods and the sun, a symbol of eternal life. To the Romans, he was a carrier of Jupiter's thunderbolts and a sign of power. To the American Indians, he stood as an incentive to valor and the pledge of victory. For us today, the eagle is a living symbol of all courageous and freedom-aspiring Americans. When the Eagle Badge was designed in 1912, it was decided that a small silver eagle would be suspended from a tricolor ribbon of red, white, and blue. So it remains today. The foremost responsibility of an Eagle Scout is to live with honor. To an Eagle Scout, honor is the foundation of all character. He knows that a Scout is trustworthy. It's the very first point of the Scout law for a good reason. An Eagle Scout lives honorably, not only because honor is important to him, but because of the vital significance of the example he sets for other Scouts. Living honorably reflects credit on his home, his church, his troop, and his community. May the white of the Eagle Badge remind you always to live with honor. The second obligation of an Eagle Scout is loyalty. A Scout is true to his family, his Scout leaders, friends, school, and nation. His loyalty to his troop and his brother Scouts makes him pitch in and carry his share of the load. All of these help to build the loyalty, which means devotion to community, to country, to one's own ideals, and to God. Let the blue of the Eagle Badge always inspire your loyalty. The third obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be courageous. Courage has always been a quality by which men measure themselves and others. To a Scout, bravery means not only the courage to face physical danger, but the determination to stand up for the right. Trusting in God with faith in his fellow man, he looks forward to each day, seeking his share of the world's work to do. Let the red of the Eagle Badge remind you always of courage. The fourth obligation of the Eagle Scout is to be cheerful. To remind the Eagle Scout to always wear a smile, the red, white, and blue ribbon is attached to the scroll of the second class Scout Award, which has its ends turned up in a smile. The final responsibility of an Eagle Scout is service. The Eagle Scout is service. The Eagle Scout extends a hand to those who still toil up Scouting's trail, just as others helped him with his climb to the Eagle. The performance of a daily good turn takes on a new meaning when he enters into a more adult life of continuing service to others. The Eagle stands as protector of the weak and helpless. He aids and comforts the unfortunate and the oppressed. He upholds the rights of others while defending his own. He will always be prepared to put forth his best. You are deserving of much credit in having achieved Scouting's highest award. However, wear your award with humility, ever mindful of the Eagle Scout, and they're looked up to as an example. May the Scout oath and law be your guide for tomorrow and onward. Dave?
Tracy Sadler will now convene the National Court of Honor.
You ready? You look like you're ready. By the authority vested in me as representative of the Mid-Iowa Council and the National Boy Scouts of America, I declare this Court of Honor to be convened. The Scouting movement constitutes one of the most wholesome and significant influences in the world today. Many successful, well-known persons are Eagle Scouts. Former President of the United States, a film director whose films have won worldwide acclaim, most of the original astronauts, and several outstanding sports personalities. The Eagle candidate, whose efforts culminate this evening in the presentation of the Eagle Badge, has labored long to enter this brotherhood. He will assume even greater responsibilities to the ideals of honor and service. When he pledges himself on his sacred honor, he will be sealing his loyalty to the code of the Eagle Scout with the words which close the Declaration of Independence. Honor Guard, please escort before this court of honor Life Scout Alex Mitchell, where he will be prepared to receive the Eagle Scout Award. How long should I let you stand there with everybody staring at you? Okay. All along the trail of achievement, your scoutmasters have given you advice and encouragement. I call upon your scoutmaster, Mr. Jason Pollock, to vouch for you tonight. Sir, before presenting your Scout the Eagle Award, we would like to have your assurance that Alex is indeed ready to receive it. Is Alex ready to receive the Eagle Scout Award?
Yes, sir, he is.
Excellent. Before the Eagle Award is bestowed upon you, I'm going to ask the Honor Guard to escort your father to your side. It's okay. See, the more people that get up here, the less they're staring at you. There you go. Eagle candidate Alex, your father has undoubtedly been a primary source of help in your scout work. He will help you carry out the standards of your ward to the highest peak of attainment. Since the very best is expected of an Eagle Scout in exemplary conduct, character, achievement, and leadership ability, I'm going to ask your father, who has stood by you so loyally, to pledge his willingness to continue to help you. Mr. Mitchell, do you agree to continue to help Alex so that he may grow in character and those leadership qualities that are of an eagle?
I will.
Excellent. Alex, your mother has undoubtedly been your greatest source of inspiration in your quest for the Eagle Award. I'm going to ask that she please rise and allow the Court of Honor to guide her to your side. One more person. This is the fun part. It says, I get to give a brief history of Alex's scouting career. All right. From Cub Scout through Boy Scouts to now Eagle Scout. It's a long road to get there. A lot of achievements along the way, a lot of merit badges along the way, a lot of effort is required along the way. A lot of leadership is learned, a lot of leadership is given. Alex has been known to his peers as Super Scout because of his ability to push his way through everything to accomplish his goals. And just briefly, I will share just one story about you. It's okay. It's about your kindness towards others. Okay, and it was me that it happened to, because we had an outing one time where I pretended to be lost in the woods. And when all the scouts finally found me, I was pretended to be unconscious, laid up against a log. And Alex got everybody together, and he was convinced that if he could get all the boys together to get in a line and spit in my mouth, they could save me from dehydration. So, yes. If you've never been on a scout outing, I recommend that you come around and hang out sometime with us. Okay. Now, while you guys are all standing right here, we're going to ask Richard Murphy to come back up and deliver you the Eagle Charge.
Scouts of all nations make up one of the most wholesome and significant movements in the world's history. You have been judged by the Boy Scouts of America as being worthy of this honor. All who know you rejoice in your achievement. This award, as you well know, is one of honor and responsibility. You're a marked man. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed a solemn obligation to do your duty to God, country, to your fellow Scouts, and to mankind in general. This is a great undertaking. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and to your brother Scouts. America has many good things to give you and your children after you, but these good things depend for the most part, on the quality of her citizens. Our country has had a great past. You can help make the future even greater. I charge you to undertake your citizenship with a solemn dedication, be a leader, be led only toward the best, lift up every task you do, and every office you hold to the highest level of service to God and to your fellow man. So live and serve. Those who know you, you will be inspired to finer living. I charge you to be among those who dedicate their hearts, hands, skills, and abilities to the common good. Help to build America's future by continuing to set an example of clean living, honest work, unselfish citizenship, and a reverence toward God. Whatever others may do, you will leave behind you a record of which you may be justly proud. Eagle candidate, I charge you to enter this Eagle Scout Brotherhood, holding without reservation and ever before you the ideals of honor and service. By the repetition of the Eagle Scout promise before your fellow members, you will become an Eagle Scout. When you pledge yourself and your sacred honor, you will be sealing your eternal loyalty to the code of the Eagle Scout with the same words which close the Declaration of Independence. Will all Eagle Scouts here tonight please stand and renew your Eagle Scout promise as Alex joins the Brotherhood? Repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example and my status and my influence count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship in my troop, in my community, and in my contacts with other people. To this I pledge my sacred honor. 2. Please be seated. Alex, your conduct along the trail has been excellent. You have rededicated yourself to the principle of scouting, but one more thing is important: your future. As an Eagle Scout, you become a guide to other Scouts. You become an example in your community. Remember that your actions are now a little more conspicuous, and people will expect more of you. To falter in your responsibility would not only reflect on you, but on your fellow Eagles and all of Scouting. The torch you carry is not only yours, but it is also theirs. Now I'll turn the podium over to Tracy.
Okay, Alex, we're getting to the point that you've been waiting for. Having confirmed all readiness for the reception of this award, it is now time to formally present this high badge of accomplishment. By the authority vested in me by the National Court of Honor of the Boy Scouts of America, it is my privilege and pleasure to pronounce you an Eagle Scout. May the oath you have taken always remain with you. No words of this court of honor could do justice to the devotion and patience, perseverance with your Scoutmaster has helped you towards worthy manhood. Only from his hands could you receive your Eagle Award at this moment. Scoutmaster Jason Pollock, will you please pin the Eagle badge upon the Eagle Scout and present the neckerchief?
Alex, like many others before you, on behalf of Troop 313, I want to present this to you as a symbol of the Eagle Scouts from Troop 313. They're kind of new. Congratulations.
Most excellent. In recognition of fatherly advice and guidance along the trail to Eagle, I will ask this Eagle Scout's father now to present his son the Eagle Scout certificate and personal letter of commendation from the Chief Scout Executive, Boy Scouts of America.
This letter is from Rex Tillerson, President of the Boy Scouts of America, and Robert J. Mazuka, the Chief Scout Executive. It reads, Dear Alexander, congratulations, you are an Eagle Scout. With the completion of the requirements, you have mastered many skills and made the Scout Oath and Law a part of your life. Eagle Scouts exemplify hard work and strong character. You now participate fully in their proud tradition and heritage. The Eagle rank is the beginning, not the end of your journey. As an Eagle Scout, much is expected of you in your community, in your religious faith, in your family, and in scouting. Life is filled with expectations, and with each new recognition, you are obligated to seek broader horizons of service. Scouting guides your life today. Because it does, you are better prepared to guide the future. Our prayers are with you and your future successes. It's dated August 24th.
No one will ever know the unnumbered acts of self-sacrifice and helpfulness from the mother of this Eagle Scout, which have led us to this night. As the symbol of what his mother has made possible, the court will now ask this eagle to present his mother with a miniature eagle pin. This is the part where you give your mother a big hug and kiss.
Thank you.
Yay. And this is the part where you get to do the same for your father. You can skip the kiss part, though, if you want. Look at that, Alex. Congratulations. Well done. Mr. Mitchell, sir, congratulations. Mrs. May I congratulate you again, Alex, and may I remind you that scouting should now become an even greater tie between son and parents, binding you even more closely as a family. To you, Eagle Scout Alex Mitchell, I express confidence that you will honor scouting with your life and service as tonight scouting honors you. That God may bless you and make you a blessing is our prayer. Honor guard, please escort Alex's parents to their seats. You don't get to sit down yet, Alex. Come on over. It's almost your turn. Okay. I congratulate you as an Eagle Scout. The eagle soars high and seeks to rest only upon the lofty peaks, which I don't think you have far to go. So, as an Eagle Scout, you too must soar high. You must not swerve from the path of duty. Your ideals must be lofty. You must strive to obtain that which is the highest and noblest in life. I hereby close this Eagle Court of Honor and present to you Eagle Scout Alex Mitchell. Would you like to say a few words, Alex?
Yeah. Hello. So I have a few words of thanks to say. First of all, thank you all for coming out here. I know some of you have driven further than others, but I really appreciate you all coming, and be sure to get some free food in the fellowship hall, because that is for you. Thanks to all the people who spoke today, because otherwise it would be a very interesting ceremony. And also thank you for listening to them all speak, because I know it was probably not as interesting for you guys as it was for me. So, that being said, I have one more pin left to give out, and that is the Eagle Scout Mentor pin. And nobody knows actually who I'm going to give this to except for me, because I just kind of made up my mind. Basically now, we're starting to assign mentors to Eagle Scout candidates. So they don't, they get to choose, but I got to choose post-Eagle Scout as opposed to pre-Eagle Scout. And there's one person that really stood out for me, who's really kind of been there for me ever since even Cub Scouts. And that's why I'd like to give this Eagle Scout mentor pin to Tracy Sadler for, chilling with me for the past couple years. So if I could get Tracy Sadler to stand up and let me stick him with the pin. You got one of these before, Tracy?
This is my first, Alex.
So, Tracy Sadler, everybody.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks for helping me. So, I'm going to let Lynn Emberhart finish up here, and then we'll go eat. So, thank you.
Alex, one of the fatal flaws you may have made is not giving me a script. Yeah, we talked about 40 seconds or 40 minutes, and so it will be somewhere in between. I would simply like to ask your personal indulgence for a brief story. In my last parish, I got to know scouting better than I had before. I had not grown up to be a scout, but I began to learn about scouting along the way, and we had a strong troop at Windsor Church in Des Moines. And soon after I got there, there was an Eagle ceremony, and it wasn't long after that, and we had another and another, and I just thought, well, that's just kind of commonplace. It's what happens. And it wasn't until I asked some questions about this high honor that I realized how extraordinary it was that there were as many in that troop as there were. And I realized that it had to do with the strong modeling of parents. It had to do with the outstanding leadership of troop leaders and other models. And of course, it had to do with the caliber of the scout. And in that case, a number of those. And then I came here, and that sort of kept happening again. And we've had a number of Eagles ceremonies here in my time, and I realized that the same sort of criteria applied to family, to the leadership, and certainly to the caliber of the scouts. And you are certainly an example of that. It just seems to me that one of the ways to offer blessing is with a piece of music. And God will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of God's hand. May the strength of that blessing and the peace of God be not only with you, but with us all. Amen.
Will the color guard please retire the collars?
Please rise. Scout hand salute. Color guard, retire the colors.
Will the honor guard please escort our newest Eagle Scout and his parents to Fellowship Hall?